Didn't even take you 12 rounds to do it. You got the title now to the whole world. Oh, well, hey, babe. Listen, I'm not talking. Yeah, I was singing, but I'm not talking. Okay? Unless you giving me likes, you commenting, sharing, and subscribing. You hear me? Okay. Well, listen, I'm here to chat a little bit about Real Housewives of Atlanta because Miss Kenya Moore had the people in flames, all right? She had the people in flames all over the social media. And I'll be honest, I was avoiding all kind of clips as possible last night because I have yet to fully get into the episode, all right? You know, I like to come up here on Mondays and give y'all a little piece of a tidbit, a clip from the episode, and then we'll get into our full review of the show at a later time. But right now, I do want us to check out a piece of the clip of things that transpired during Miss Kenya Moore's, I would say grand opening, or shall I just say celebration of her hair spa. You know, she got into some things with Brit, Eady. The cast reacted, the people responded, and I just want us to talk about it for just a second over here, and then my thoughts could potentially change after I watch the entire episode, right? Once I watch the entire episode and I see certain things or whatever, you know, a lot of times when I watch it more than one time, I see things that I may not have seen the first time or whatever the case, or things may come together for me. I'm watching the full thing versus just a clip. All right. So we are going to get into that. So make sure that you guys are doing exactly what it is you're supposed to do. And we're going to get into a little piece of audio here. Let's play it.
Then she talked about having a gun. Ooh. That she keeps it on her at all times. She did. So this woman was saying all this stuff, like, you don't know the I am. I'm like, no, I don't know who you are. So I did a little research, and I found out who this bitch is.
Ooh. No, I don't know who you are. But I did a little research, and I found out who this bitch is. Ooh, child. People love telling folks stuff. You don't know me like that. You need to find out. You better know. Find something out about me, okay? Somebody better tell you about me, and child. They don't went and find out about you. Now, you can't be mad when the people pull up, but I guess you can be mad that it was exposed potentially. But, you know, you can't. Girl, let's press play. Let me hush on.
What is that?
So who is this hoe? Who is this hoe? Brit Eady is her name. This the same girl.
Oh, I'm not doing this.
We see the nose jobs, the lips, the fillers, all that.
She need to pipe down. Ooh, yeah, you're crazy. Ooh.
That's number one.
If this...
Who is this hoe? Child. Kelly is not here for this. It looks like in one of these scenes, it looks like, let me show y'all a real quick scene. I mean, I'm not going to play it, but here it looks like Kelly is saying something to Kenya. Now, I don't pause this. I don't know if she is going to be saying something, but you got Drew looking at Kelly. You got Angela leaning over looking at Kelly. You got Shamia looking at Kelly. You got Kelly saying something to Kenya. So I'm wondering, is she finna say something to Kenya or is she just finna walk the hell out? Child, this is messy.
This is just the first one. Where is this going?
My good private investigators.
So, yeah, some exchange happened between Kenya and Kelly, but they didn't play it for us to hear or see.
Found some more evidence for me. So, yeah, she used to be a video hoe. Yeah. She was a trap
Baby,
hoe.
Kelly is leaving.
Okay?
Kenya, my girl, like, what is happening? We are going down a rabbit hole.
I've been in some videos, but I was
Girl, Kenya's friend is like this. The one she introduced us to last year, like, oh, my God. Jesus.
Leading lady. I was making stacks for an appearance.
Everybody been a hoe in their day. She been a hoe too. Come on now. I mean, here you are with this beautiful salon. We're here to celebrate you. Why the are we discussing Brit at your grand opening? Bitch, we getting the out of here, hoe.
Oh, is it that time?
I'm not gonna allow her to disrespect my friend. I can't deal with that.
Then they kept sending me information. That's some nasty work.
Ain't nobody trying to see this girl sucking nobody's dick. That is just so crazy.
Where did Kenya get this from? And why are we seeing it? And why is it blown up?
You can say, oh, I've seen pictures of you, I got receipts, but to show it, I could not believe my eyes.
Girl, I don't even know what the fuck to say. I don't even know. Child, that's insane.
Yeah, that's it. No, it ain't too far, bitch. She threatened me with a gun. Don't tell me it's too far.
I am mortified.
Angela looking up to the Lord, asking for guidance, okay? And I'm asking you to guide me, especially today, when my world seems so cloudy, till I'm sure I open up my eyes. Like, baby, Angela got me. Angela, like, Lord, I need you now. I'm screaming. Angela, girl.
Come on now.
This is too much. I did not want to stand there
Oh.
and seem like I was in agreement of anything. I don't support this.
Who is trying to take food out of my daughter's mouth? That's what this is about. So thank you very much for supporting me. Now I know who I can trust. Don't come for me.
Unless I sit for you.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh,
What's lower
time on my hands. Just a little while. I ain't got no plan. No. Child, and the sound of the rain. Child, against my window pane. It's slowly driving people insane. Boy, I'm going down. Okay. This right here was a mess here, honey. Listen, here's the thing. I will say this, okay? And the people gonna be upset. I'm gonna let you do what you do because I'm not gonna read it no way. I will say this right out the gate. I don't blame Kenya for exposing that. Expose that. Expose that. Expose that. Expose that. Yes, I feel like, yeah. Call her out. I don't know who you are, BIT. You want to threaten somebody? No, I don't know who you is, but let me go and find out. And once I find out, I'll make sure that every single person out here know exactly who the fuck you is. Absolutely 1000%. So I do not fault Kenya for exposing her, right? I feel like we live to see, we live for that type of thing, a receipt. We live for that for reunions and different parts of Real Housewives where a person is exposed for who they really are, right? So I don't fault Kenya for exposing her. What I will say is that showing her sulking zick, I wouldn't have did it. You know, I that's the part where I don't fault the ladies for being like, ooh, this here, no, that no, okay. I probably would have talked about it. Maybe a little bit would have said something about it, like, girl, don't sit up here and act like you wasn't an escort or whatever. You know, whatever it was. I don't know what she was, or if it was just something between her and her man that got out. I don't know. But maybe clock that tea in a different way, you know, later on in the season, because I also feel like with Brit and Kenya, you know how this goes. Once it's been shown that y'all got an issue, sometimes with Kenya is given we gonna be forever. So I would have held back some of that information to be able to fire her ass up throughout the season should there be a need to do so. Okay, you feel me? I want to put all my stuff out there. First of all, I do fault Kenya, I will say, for doing this at her event, because I do think that what happened overshadowed. That was the big wow factor. It wasn't the wow factor. This is a beautiful salon and the services you offer are amazing. That should have been the wow factor of the night. But the wow factor ended up being Brittany Eady. She ended up, leaving or whatever the case was, or you know, all the people ended up leaving. You ended up exposing her, the people left, and I think people were here for a little bit of exposure. As you can see, the ladies stood around, they were here for the exposure, like, damn, where else is this going? So I'm with the ladies, you know, like, yeah, Yeah, expose that. That's what we do at times if we need to. We gonna call it out, okay? Just like Portia said, she got receipts about somebody on the cast that she's gonna show at a later time at the reunion. That is going to be Portia exposing that person, right? With receipts, and those receipts may be text messages. So I'm here for the exposure part. It's the sucking so I don't at this time, and again, my thoughts may change once I watch the episode in totality. But at this time, watching this clip, it is for me like I don't fault Kelly for getting up and being the first person to leave, especially if you're an individual that says you're such close friends with Brittany, and you've known Brittany and had an established relationship with her before even having one with Kenya. So I don't fault Brit. I'm sorry, not Brit, but Kelly for getting up and leaving, right? And even wanting to speak up on behalf of Brit. I do feel like Kelly got a little bit of that Shamia in her, which is why they are good friends. And I do think that for Shamia, those are the type of people you should be friends with. People that's going to speak up and have your back and not going to let people just say anything or disrespect you. Because I feel like Shamia showed up that way for Portia. Haven't always seen Portia show that way up for Shamia on the show. I don't know what has happened behind the scenes, but on the show. So now to see Kelly trying to do that on behalf of Brit, despite, developing a good rapport with Kenya, I feel like that's the type of person Shamia and Kelly should be friends based on their respect for friendships and stuff, right? But I do think that if there was indeed, we didn't see the image. They didn't even blur it out and show it to us at all. We had to rely on what Cynthia said, which was the sucking zit part. I know if the roles were reversed and if Brit would have brought a photo up there of Kenya doing that, I would be mad as fuck at Brit. Like, I think a lot of people would be on some, how dare you, bitch? Who do you think you are? I think a lot of people would. I understand, and I'm not faulting y'all. Y'all feel your own way about it. If you feel that for you, I don't care. If you go low, threaten me with guns, I'm gonna take it to fucking hell. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go below hell, bitch. We not even in Earth no more, girl. Like, we on a whole nother planet with it now. Listen, we all handle things different. If that's how you choose, I'm not finna tell you wrong. I'm not gonna tell you wrong. I'm gonna tell you I understand how you feel. If that's how you feel, cool. All right. Now, we just different type of people. As for me, I would have, for me, I would have been a bit more calculated than that. One, I would not have done it at my salon. Number one. Number two, I would have hosted a separate event celebrating it once again and thanking everybody, all my friends for coming out. And in that moment, I would have exposed that hoe. Okay, in her face. All right. And I wouldn't have gave all that I have on you. Okay. Because it would have definitely gave Mariah a Married to Better. Said, do you want me to bring out the receipts? Because I got the receipts. Like, girl, I could give more. I just chose to spare your ass in this moment. Okay. And as the queen, I did expect Kenya Moore to be a bit more calculated. Right. Seeing everybody's response and how this was handled, it made me question whether Kenya will be back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Them wanting to pause filming with her, I still feel a way about. I think that I understand them pausing, right? Wanting to get an understanding, assess the cast, see how people are feeling, whatever the case is. However, I do think she should have been given the opportunity to return probably around the same time frame that y'all gave Phaedra. Even if it was for her to return for the last two episodes. You know how over there on Married to Medicine, when the goal was to get Quad the hell out, right? Last season. They got Quad the fuck out. I feel like we didn't see Quad for a few episodes, but then at the end, we ended up seeing Quad. That's when she gave Gregory that awkward hug, asking, is it okay if I hug you? Whatever. So I feel like they could have done that. She could have come back at the final episode, potentially, and try to make amends with the ladies for what happened a few weeks prior, having a conversation, sorting things out, which would have been a great segue to go into the reunion and to discuss all things, okay? In my personal. So the fact that they paused filming with her, I do, in my opinion, I'm not seeing her being at the reunion. I'm not. I think when they put a hard stop, I think that we won't see her for the rest of the season, as we know. And I also feel like we will not see her at the reunion. And I think they may ask her for a statement, if she's willing to provide one. And I think that they're just going to talk about what Kenya did and how it made everyone else feel. But I don't see them asking Kenya, how did it make you feel when Brit made those threats to you? What was going through your mind that made you want to go this far into, digging into her background? In addition to that, what made you do it at your event? And then what made you expose your entire hand at that event versus holding on and reserving some information for a later time? Okay, so I don't know, but I mean, we haven't even seen Kenya on Watch What Happens Live or anything. So I feel like Bravo as a whole sat her down, not just a production company, but I feel like as a whole, they was like, okay, we're gonna need you to sit over here, bitch. Okay, until we're ready to pick you back up. Very, very unfortunate in my personal. Yeah. So like I said, my thoughts may change once I watch the entire episode and continue to finish out the scene, see what happened before everything took place, and then the afterwards, after she exposed Brit. But at this time, like I said earlier, it is a situation where you can't piss people off and tell them how mad to get, right? I do understand that. I agree with that. I support that. I just think that because you can't piss people off and tell them how mad to get or when to get mad or when to stop being mad or whatever, that's where I feel the calculation should have came in. And if we're going to beef and this is the energy that you wanted, I'm going to make sure that I give you that, and I'm going to be on your head top. Every episode, every time you want that work, I'm gonna drop a receipt on your ass, because bitch, I know too much about you, ho. Okay, I know too much about you to make my event about you in any fucking capacity, because you're really not that important. Okay, I know too much about you to not drop a dime on you every time. Okay, since you that girl, now I want these as flowers. Y'all can take them out. And I feel like if Kenya refused any flowers, because I know in the previews of last week, we did see where Brit took some flowers. I don't have to take shit from you after you made a threat. Okay? And I feel like that's no different when it's two women versus a man and a woman. A man making a threat to a woman, and then he want to bring some flowers. Say, babe, I'm sorry. My bad. I ain't mean to do it like that. I don't want these fucking ass flowers. You could go. I don't want that. I know I'm not taking it. So what else is going on? Nah. So if she wanted to reject him, I feel like she had every right. Just because a person offers an apology, you don't always got to accept it. Now, I will say over time, bitch, I would like to see some progression to move forward. But initially, if there's some pushback, okay, no, nah, I'm not accepting shit. No, I'm not taking no flowers. Nah, I'm not, no, bitch. Because I don't ever want you to think that what you did was okay and you get to just apologize to me and then we get to move along. Like, nah, I need you to know for sure. Okay, I need you to know for sure what the hell you did, how I don't like that SHI, and I need that behavior to change. So yeah, but y'all leave y'all thoughts about it. Of course, I'm gonna let you guys chat and argue in the comments over who's right, who's wrong, and Kenya should have been gone. I can't stand Kenya, or I don't like Brit. Get Brit ass off the show. She gotta go. She's unhinged. Da, 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 da. If you go sit down Kenya, then you should have sat down Brit. Okay. Can I also say that I feel like Brit is very well liked in my personal by production. I think after she made those threats and Kenya brought attention to what happened, I do feel like, she had a producer or a few go to her and maybe some cast members telling her how to handle this situation so she don't get herself in trouble on some just go and apologize and this and that's on you. I think she got like a heads up. She's a newbie. Okay, she don't know what all to do or not do, so she definitely got some assistance on what to do. And when it comes to Kenya, I don't know. I don't know if producers tried to stop her and she's like, no, don't tell me not to do XYZ because you weren't the person that was threatened. I was. I don't know if she said that or whether the producers were supporting her in that. Because y'all saw what it was. Maybe, they could have been like, okay, yeah, this is going to be good. This is good TV, until they realized that it's not good TV. Okay, so any producer that I, in my opinion, that may have worked with Kenya, and if they did support this and allowed her to go on camera to do whatever, then they probably should have been sat the hell down as well. And not just Kenya. All I'm saying is she may not have been the only person that needed to have been sat down, whether it was other cast members or producers. Okay, period. But like I said, it's your turn to argue in the comments because y'all gonna do that anyway, because it's just how y'all is, all right? I am JamiThatsMe. You can follow me over on the Instagram. You can catch me over on Twitter, Blue Sky, all of that at JamiThatsMe. And of course, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I could face the rim, putting shots